And COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometric surveillance. If we want to stop this epidemic, we need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin. What we have seen so far is corporations and governments collecting data about where we go, who we meet, what movies we watch. The next phase is the surveillance going under our skin. We now see mass surveillance systems established even in democratic countries, which previously rejected them. And we also see a change in the nature of surveillance. Previously, surveillance was mainly above the skin. Now it's going under the skin. Governments want to know not just where we go or who we meet. Above all, they want to know what is happening under our skin. What's our body temperature? What's our blood pressure? What is our medical condition? Now humans are developing even bigger powers than ever before. We are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life. Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. I mean, all this story about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news.
So hackable, people are hackable now. Tell us what that means. Tell us what the implications are.
I think we need to explain who this Mr. Yuval Harari is. He's an Israeli. He's a homosexual. I think, and he's the person that Klaus Schwab listens to more than anybody. He may be the most dangerous man on the planet. And you've just heard him for a couple of minutes here. When he speaks, world leaders listen, including to the nonsense he just spoke there.
You think if you ever want to see what evil looks like, it's that dude. Okay? I mean, if you listen to this guy speak, man, this guy is full out evil, the things he's thinking about. But what he's really trying to do, they want to hack your brain so that they can tell you what to think and how to think. And when that last little clip that said that Jesus rose from the dead was fake news, he is such a God hater.
Yes,
he believes that any faith in God, the God above the clouds he calls him, that any faith is just fictitious and fake news. So he wants to be able to hack the brain to eliminate people believing like that. He believes that's a false narrative. And so they have their narrative, and so with this digital currency, with this ability to hack people and put things under your skin and perhaps in your brain, they want to be able to control the thoughts of people. This is why it's so dangerous. And Elon Musk has talked about it, and a few other people about putting chips in your brain and things like that. That's where they're going, guys. Now, I hope we're raptured before that. But for goodness sakes, that's pretty evil. Is basically they want to destroy belief.
That's right.
Belief in the one true God. Now that's when you know, I would say that guy's probably satanically, demonically possessed, man, to say things like that. That is Antichrist language, where you blaspheme the God of heaven.
Keep your eye on this man wherever you can hear him. Listen to him.
Yeah,
and
bad dude.
Ponder what he's saying. It's very dark. It's very dark.
Recently in an interview he was talking about hacking us. And he said, you know, we're going to have these implants so that you don't believe fake news. And he went on, he says, all of us have this propensity, you know, to different things, to think about politics this way or ethics this way. But we're going to make sure that when we do this, we'll be able to keep people from these things, anything that's fake news. So that resurrection statement, that's why we included that in the video clip. because he specifically says the resurrection of Jesus. We're going to keep people from believing the resurrection or anything about biblical morality.
That was Pastor Mark Henry, Pastor Brandon Holthouse, and yours truly for Understanding the Times event here in the Twin Cities. We have a DVD of that, plus it's on our website, olivetreeviews.org, and go to video. It's all available for you. But J.B. Hickson, you could hear there, they are talking about all of us, the participants, and Mr. Harari. This is the spirit of Antichrist. Am I wrong?
No, absolutely. In fact, I was just recently at a conference in Wisconsin where I played that same clip. And if you had a pictorial Bible and you went to 1 John 4:3 and it talked about the spirit of the Antichrist already at work among us, it would have a picture of Harari. I agree with everything your guests were saying. He is at the tip of the spear right now, along with Klaus Schwab. And like you said, Klaus and Harari are working hand in puppet together. The thing people need to understand, though, is it's not just about controlling our thoughts to keep us away from God. It's about ultimate, total planetary control. It's all about transhumanism. They want to turn us into programmable entities that they can turn on and off. Klaus Schwab came out with a book called The Great Narrative. The kinds of things that he's saying in there should just chill us to the bone. Again, not in a fearful sense because we know who wins in the end, but in the sense of being prepared for what's coming. They want to control every transaction. Pippa Malmgren, she talks blatantly about how this is really what it's all about. I mean, you couldn't have a garage sale in your driveway without them tracking you. And the thing is, if you step outside of their control grid, if they think your carbon footprint is too big or they think you're using hate speech, they can just turn you off so that you can't buy and sell or have any means of making a living.
Again,